as for the U.S. element, as I said, we're still in a transitional period of time. We're still now having President Biden as the president in the White House. So perhaps we should be the patient until the new administration is some sort of place in Washington, D.C., see what bilaterally we can do between China and U.S., bilaterally what we can do, what you can do between Australia and the U.S., and what China, Australia can continue to cooperate together and to help keep the good momentum in our bilateral relationship, and also to contribute to the region and the world. And I look forward to a constructive, productive relationship between China and Australia, irrespective of what has happened in other parts of the world. Thank you.
All right. So what they're saying right there is they need some mediation, everybody. And other countries to help out that, as we do for each other, is a good thing. Because when you're all by yourself, it gets hard, doesn't it, China? You might think you can be all by yourself with materials and stuff like that, but things do run out, things do change. And we do need friends to make money. You can't make money as well within yourself than to join everyone else, as the truth is numbers are better. Hey, even though they say all these things, and that's cool, that's freedom of speech, and why learning. Certain people need to hear certain things at certain times, at certain levels. We go into a kindergarten room now, you'll be hearing the teacher teach the kids a certain thing at that time, because that's what they need. It's a step so they can get the next step and the next step. You won't see the Year 3 teacher in there trying to teach the same stuff to the prep. You see, it's the same thing. And it goes like that when it comes to leaders and stuff like that, and they fail as they got a position because of family and so on. That's why these days kings and queens have disappeared as positions. They're not getting educated enough. Back in the old days, it was pretty easy to know the standards and crap like that, and to bully people around, that's all they need to know. But now they need to know more to be a real leader. Otherwise, things fail with smarter people around them. So they want a mediator, right? And they're picking a country that they're still getting along with mostly. So that's wise, right? Us Australians. But the only downside, which is their biggest downside, why they've got problems, is they like to threat, right? You like to threat. You just threatened us about your Taiwan thing, and you already know our issues, so you can see where we're taking that. But we understand that we have differences. You explained it, and we're already there. We've been around things. Nothing surprises me, even when these lies become something else. It doesn't surprise us anymore. In fact, when you get like that, what does that mean when it comes to mediation? And I've talked about that recently with some people around me, about if you can't talk to something, there is no mediation when something just wants to bully or control. And so they know what's about to happen with America. They know. That's why they're doing this now, people. It's like when an election comes up, they start saying this and that and this. And now they're starting to say this because they know the next leader's about to pop up, right? And so they're trying to communicate, and they want others to help us communicate with a person that they believe they probably can't communicate to. They've got their mindset, which they could, and they have their reasons too, right? And the best way to fix things is to fix the problem that you had with the person. But if you can't, sometimes mediation does work, but not always, right? Because the best way is to confront the person yourself. But you do need mediation when you're not educated or have people who can help you sort that problem out, right? By confronting certain things. That's why we have court, and we turn up or we don't. And so with all that, we'd love to help you, but we don't help people that like to threaten us on another issue, that like to bring in others. Say, I'll work with you if you don't work with them and them. So I've got to go, but I'm better because I've got money. I heard that all the time. I hear these people all the time. Oh, you've got to marry me. Why doesn't they want me? I've got the money. Money's not the rolls around the world. That's the root of all evil. In fact, if you're thinking that, you could be heading towards that path, you see. You're not getting your priorities right. People are starving right now because of the money reaches all evil, and they want to collect and feel powerful, you see. And that's the problem that I've been talking about already when it comes to a lot of issues. So I'm happy to work with you, China, but I'm not happy to listen to what you got to say about Taiwan. You already heard what I've got to say. I'm not going to use people's lives or freedom for any negotiation that is cut out. You try to threaten me with that, you'll only make your negotiation worse, as far as I'm concerned, as we believe a certain way and we don't connect with certain people if they don't have the top priorities like the Bible teaches us to do, and have these top priorities that we make sure we don't lose. Same with America. That's why America's having a problem with you, as they don't want to work with bubble to bubble so the countries get along. They want the countries to go country to country and be able to go to the other country and feel free and able to do the similar things that they can do in their country. That's what makes someone else want to go to somewhere else. If your country is the better one, why would you go to a worse one when you can't do all these things? There's a problem where you might have with tourism, right? And it's your choice to change your ways or keep bringing North Korea around instead. That's fine. We are what we put out. But if you don't like their attitude and you rather have a nicer attitude, you need to change a little bit more to connect with that, right? Which is less threats and more sense of why you believe you need to do what you do with proper arguments, right? And agreements. Sometimes you could be right, but then things have changed. It's like, have you ever seen Castaway, where he ends up going on an island and stays there and his wife remarries thinking he's dead, and then he comes back and he's not dead and she's remarried and he's lost everything. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. But do you believe that she should leave her husband? And some people do, right? Or stay with someone for another way, right? It depends on the agreements that you do together. You should watch the show. It's a hard feeling. Sometimes they say if you love something, you need to leave it alone if it doesn't love you, right? And that's Taiwan, China, right? Perhaps they might love you later on and join you. And so it's the same thing as owning it. The only difference is you just don't get so much money or power over them when it comes to controlling benefits. But when it comes to freedom, there's no difference. Right? In fact, it's good that someone else brought something and you can borrow them or help them. They can use their equipment in an army and you don't need it. That's the good thing about it. Nothing gets destroyed and we all move on, and then they use something that they don't have, right? From you. That's connection. But then you know what we see around here and how parliaments work and all around the world? It's very sad. There's a whole bunch of bullying and picking on people and stuff like that. And if you believe that's what you need to do to get your position, well, no wonder you're still doing it when you're in your position, you see. You haven't even learnt 101 being a righteous leader. You've just learnt 101 give what you need to give. Isn't that? At certain times, propaganda it. And that's sad. That's what I see. If you think I'm wrong, you let me know. I'm here to speak truthfully with you. And if you really don't want that, then there's nothing more to say, is there? And we walk our separate ways. And we do things quietly. Sometimes when people are angry with each other, they can be in the same room, but they look at each other funny. And they still do things, cook the meal and give it to them as they're doing that already, as they're doing the dishes for you. You see, have you ever been there? Countries do the same thing. Everything goes from smaller to big. It's the pattern of the world. But anyway, have a good one and see you later.